Welcome back to the program. I'm Jason. I'm filling in for Jason Dagate. I'm Jimmy Dagate, and want to let you know that Jason will be taking my place on Thursday night. What we'll do? Let's go to the phone lines. Want to hear from you. Thanks for calling. Welcome to the program.
Hello, Jimmy.
Hey, how we doing?
Doing all right tonight, bro.
Good, good. Glad to hear it.
Just watching a little bit of Fox News.
Okay, what you think?
Well, the way I see it, bro, they need to start on them tax revisions right now. Mm-hmm. And they either try to make a flat tax or something where everybody pays their fair share.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know, they need to start on it now, though, Jimmy, not wait till September before these triggers kick in.
Well, I agree with you 100%. But you know as well as I know, that's not going to happen. But it should.
Right. And I was watching Senator Coburn talking about the military, the cutting. He says we could get most of that money from waste. They were paying $900 for one toggle switch, an 85-cent toggle switch.
Right.
And the military generals and all, they say the same thing.
Right.
Why can't we cut this waste?
I agree with you. I think the whole federal government, and I think if you go to every department across the board, you're going to find similar type waste, whether it be in excess employees or materials that they buy. You're going to find that. And the problem is the government's so big they can't even see where the problems are.
Instead, all these committees they make to find, they ought to make a committee, go online, item vetoes.
Right.
And see what's good. We need that in Louisiana, too.
They ought to, you know what they ought to do? They
ought to 30 people to do just that.
Right. What they ought to do is they ought to hire somebody and then just pay them
a line item.
Just a little percentage of what they find in waste. And I bet you if they did that, they would find a lot of waste.
You know you got it there, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you know, something else, they showed Medicare, bro. Something like $600 million of these fake chairs, people that don't need these chairs.
Right.
These hover around and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do, but I understand what you're saying, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's what like me and you just talking.
Right.
Okay, we got 100 people. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go line item and see what we need and see what we don't need.
Right.
These little organizations we don't need.
No, I agree. I mean, if they did that, they would save money. But, I mean, the government's so big. But, you see, to me, you'd create jobs.
Exactly.
Plus, you would save money because all they're going to get paid is a small percentage of what they save.
Exactly.
But a small percentage of millions and billions of dollars is a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like Louisiana, like Harrison's trying to do. That's what we need, like 40 or 50 people in our capital. That's all they would do. They would take, okay, this organization, let's check into it.
Right.
This organization, let's check into it. Well, it's no good. It's not helping people. Get rid of it.
Right.
You know? And that's what we need done, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're on a 100% agreement.
Because the way it is right now, just between the waste and if you redo our tax code, I agree with the Republicans we have to cut the Tea Party, which they put a stop to it, all this spending. But we have to fix this tax code we have. I don't agree with the 10 years or the 8 years Bush had these tax cuts, and we ended up with no jobs anyway. So that's not helping us, we know.
Right. But I like the idea of a flat tax. I always did. I don't know why it doesn't. I guess it's so hard to change things in Congress.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Well, you know what it is too. The rich people won't be able to sneak that money nowhere.
Well, it's a lot of loopholes, no question about it. Right.
Billy Tozan had brought that up about 15, 20 years ago.
The flat tax.
The flat tax.
Yeah, I remember.
And Congress shot that down like it was a ball of fire.
Yeah, but now things are a little different. I think people realize that we're getting broke. Look, let me get some more callers in here. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
I agree with the Tea Party, and we need a tax reform. That's what we need. Stop spending and tax reform.
All right. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling. Welcome to Bayou Town.
Man, you aged pretty fast, huh, Jason?
Hey, well, this is Jimmy. How you doing? All right.
I heard the first call, I had to say it. I had to.
All right. Yeah, hey, that's all right. Go ahead.
But anyway, I was watching, the president and all the president's men there, and I could not believe all the snakes I seen out of all them people. They had cotton mouths, they had freaking rattlers, they was just ready to strike.
Oh, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, when I say this is what I mean. People that don't want change, they don't want to clean their own backyard, but yet they want to keep on keeping on, picking on poor people with vices such as alcoholism, tobacco, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, the way I see it, as a Cajun man from the Cajun land, as only I can see it, if they was to clean their backyard, and then they could have the initiative to actually come back and clean our backyard and not worry about other countries as far as right now.
All right.
They would not have to cut all of these people that really need the money if they could stop Hillary, head off Hillary at the pass from giving billions of dollars away to a country when we needed the most. And she ain't the only one giving billions of dollars away.
No, well, that comes from Congress originally, but
Exactly.
You're right. Yeah.
But you know my point on that Congress too, Jimmy.
Oh, I understand. People are frustrated.
Oh, they're frustrated, and I can guarantee you, if it was done like that, they wouldn't have to do this or that. They could clean the backyard, but they don't.
Right.
But irregardless, I'm going to go on a fishing pretty soon, and I might not come back. Because the world as I see it, it ain't going to change because you're always going to have the snakes in the United States, and there ain't nothing we can do about it unless we get them out of Congress.
Okay. Look, Ricky, I appreciate the comments.
All right, then. Well, I want to give a shout-out to Lieutenant Stan.
All right. You did
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Appreciate the call very much. Thanks for calling. Welcome to Bayou Time.
Good afternoon, Jimmy.
Hey, how are you?
All right, you're looking good this evening, man.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hey, that suit's not made in China, huh? That's made in the USA, huh?
No, that's right here, man.
That's why people need to start buying things made in the
Well,
USA.
you know, I said that. I'm going to have to check.
All right. First of all, how's that new granddaughter?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's all I can say.
Well, I know I see you happy, man. You look good, man.
Well, thank you.
That bring your life back there. I know
all
that.
right, good.
Mr. Jimmy, I don't want to hold you too long, but I know you got a lot of callers. First of all, they need to create jobs, Mr. Jimmy. Like I told you a while back, what they need to do, get young people off of welfare, put them to work, pay them a decent wages, like $15 an hour, which way they wouldn't have to be on welfare. The state would save money on that. They would work, they would pay taxes, they would pay Social Security, the state would get money off of that. They would benefit off of that.
Right.
Two ways. A way they get them off of welfare, another way they be working, collecting taxes off them people.
I understand.
People got to think about this. Look at it. Think about, man, people that got this country on welfare should be working, Mr. Jimmy. How much money this country would save?
Well, again, I go back to the theme that I think the government's too big to know how much abuse goes on in all of their programs. And welfare is one of them.
Yes, sir. If you're old and sick, been in the army and all, you're veterans and all, you can't work no more.
Absolutely.
They're the people should be on that, receiving that.
Absolutely.
But they can't do nothing no more, Mr. Jimmy. And second of all, they need to start looking at them grocery stores, too. The food they waste.
Right.
I don't know if you ever noticed this. When you go to a store, they always taking things off the shelf because it got outdated.
Yeah.
How come they don't make them stores do this, Jim? 2-3 days before it get outdated. Why they don't make it sell it cheaper? Put the price down on it, and people gonna buy it.
Right.
And let it go to waste.
But you don't want the government, telling a lot of businessmen what to do. But I understand. I understand what you're saying.
They're wasting food in this country.
I understand. Oh yeah, there's no question we waste too much food.
Why waste it when you can sell it for a cheaper price?
All right.
And let it go to waste.
I appreciate those comments. Thank you.
Okay, have a good evening.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. Thanks for calling and welcome to Bayou Time.
Good evening, Jimmy.
Good evening, yes. That's all right. I didn't know my name either at the beginning, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm getting senile.
Yeah, well, no, I, at the top of the show, I don't know if you mentioned it, if you missed it or not, I kind of started saying I was Jason, and then I realized that that ain't me.
Yeah, I heard you. You're confusing me, man.
Go ahead.
It looked like the market's going in correction, huh?
Oh yeah, there's no question that something's going on. It could be a reaction to what, what happened in Washington. Not really sure.
Well, if we're going in hard times, interest rates are going to be depressed, and of course that could help people that want to expand. So, but when you have low interest rates like that and your economy is dead slow, the credit to the president goes. When it comes to inflation, when inflation is in check, the president gets credit for that. But the people don't get that cost of living allowance. But what we need to do something about insurance, because over the last 3 years, people haven't been getting their COLAs, and insurance companies keep going up 5 and 10% every year, and there's no public official in Baton Rouge that's doing anything about this.
No, I understand. I mean, if you get your homeowner's insurance or automobile insurance, whatever kind of health insurance, whatever kind of insurance you pay, it really it goes out of sight.
Jimmy, when you go to a restaurant and you buy a hamburger and you eat that hamburger and you don't like it, but if you eat the hamburger, you got to pay for the hamburger, right?
I usually eat it all, too.
Yeah, and people don't want to give you your money back if you eat it all. Now, if you eat a piece and you complain and you turn in everything but a bite, they're likely to give you your money back. But I guess what I'm saying is that when the government spends money, you have to be able to pay as you go. Now, I agree. I would agree, Jimmy, with a balanced budget amendment. I would agree with an across-the-board tax level. But what I also believe is if Congress authorizes to buy something, it means that if they don't have enough funds in the bank, automatically revenue has to increase. If they tie revenue into spending, we can eliminate tax and spend completely.
Yeah,
in other words,
but why
we won't raise taxes as long as the Congress stays within their spending limit. But if Congress approves the spending, then we got to raise it. That should be automatic.
Well, yeah, but now you see, I disagree, because I don't think. First off, I think it ought to be illegal for them to spend more money than what they have. I mean, if you and I were out there writing checks for money that we didn't have, you know what they'd do for to us. And I think there ought to be some restrictions in terms of. And I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, but I don't want to even give. You see, that's what Congress has right now. They basically have the authority to spend what they want, and raise revenue. And I just think that we spend too much.
Well, then we can set a limit that we cannot spend more money than what revenue can pay in the next 5 years. As soon as the balance goes into balance, they can put that law in saying, okay, you can spend and we can raise revenue, but you can't spend more than what revenue can be earned over a 5-year period cap.
Well, I just like the balanced budget amendment. To simplify it, I'm okay with just a balanced budget. You have to balance your budget. I have to. Everybody's got to balance their budget.
Yeah, but Jimmy, look.
And you can make some exceptions in terms of war and emergency or something if you want, and or something that's that critical where you have 2/3 majority in both houses of Congress, something like that I can understand, because I don't want stop anybody who's actually, you know, in terrible need, or if there's an emergency for our country. But I think the government ought to have the same restrictions as we have.
Well, yeah, I agree with that totally. If they bust the budget because of war or some unknown situation, then in order for them to go above what can be paid back in 5 years, they have to raise revenue. So there's got to be some point, even if there's an emergency, that revenue has to go up as spending increases, because if Congress authorizes it, Jimmy, it's legal.
Well, and you're right, but look back. I mean, what about everybody bite the bullet? We're at war, so everybody's got to do less. So let's cut in other areas as opposed to going ahead and, you know, I just don't like the raise revenue idea. But
well, I'll just
but I understand what you're saying, and I'm not in total disagreement, but I do have some disagreements there.
Well, I'll finish up by saying, Jimmy, you know, it all comes down to this. We hear all the time that 50% of the people in this country don't pay taxes.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of very wealthy corporations that don't pay taxes. So,
oh, absolutely, and that's not right either.
When you say 50% of the people are not paying taxes, you can't exclude some of the richest people on this planet.
Look, I'm with you. I don't think that, you know, anybody, a corporation that makes $1 billion and they don't pay any income taxes, I think that's outrageous.
You have a good night, Jimmy.
Thank you. All right, what we need to do is we need to take a break. We're going to, if you want to get in, 879-1231, 879-1231. Open topic, anything you'd like to talk about. If you want to get to a little more local issues, we can do that, and we'll be right back.